Yesterday, Dijak announced that we'll soon be feasting our effing eyes on him outside of WWE. He's away, and Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp had an exclusive chat with Dijak, which you'll be able to check out a bit later today. In the meantime, Fightful Select have shared a few more details on Dijak's WWE experience.
So Dijak said that he was notified that WWE would not be re-signing him at some point following his WWE Speed match with Xavier Woods that filmed in the last 2 weeks, but hasn't been able to learn when WWE made the decision that they would not be re-signing him. When he was speaking with Sean Ross Sapp, he said that he has theories that WWE had planned to let his deal wind down for a while, and we'll talk about that a little bit more very shortly. Throughout the process of his contract winding down, Corey Brennan had been told by various sources within WWE and NXT that Dijak was well liked and praised by officials in the company, and as Dijak confirmed in his tweets, was originally set to challenge for the NXT title before he was called up without notice to Monday Night Raw during the draft. They were also told that Shawn Michaels, big supporter, loved Dijak, despite the two having minor disagreements about creative differences in the past, and he told Sapp that Michaels called him directly to welcome him back to the NXT brand, and he would fly there for a few weeks at a time to get training as he lives all the way over in New Hampshire.
Now, since his call-up, there were several weeks where Dijak was not brought to the tapings, and when he was, his plans were often shifted to either feature on Main Event or in a match for WWE Speed, those being his last two matches as part of WWE. There was never a planned appearance for Monday Night Raw. Fightful had previously reported that there were no creative plans in place at all when he was called up, which is incredible when you think that there was a juicy bit of creative already in line for him with NXT. Which numerous sources and Dijak himself have confirmed. But yet they went, no, come to Raw. Why? No reason.
Well, that's it. I don't get why you would call somebody up if you don't have plans for them. That's exactly what they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, that's it. If you've got an idea for somebody on the main roster, that's when you call them up. If you don't. Fightful sources say there was, quote, positive preliminary negotiations when it came to Dijak re-signing with the company, but after initial conversations, WWE did not reach out again until it was time to say goodbye, until they told them that the deal was not being renewed. Something that many WWE sources were reportedly very shocked about. Dijak spoke more about his WWE departure on Mace and Mansour's Twitch stream last night.
He popped up there straight away and said that WWE may have been looking for a reason not to like him. So this is interesting. He talked about a match that he had on Raw against Damian Priest, in which he set out to impress Vince McMahon. However, despite the match quality, Vince McMahon focused on how when Dijak was dragging Priest around, he didn't look aggressive enough. Just like that.
That was really aggressive.
It was. He didn't look aggressive enough. And it's worth pointing out, by the way, that this was an untelevised bit. This was during commercial as well. So Vince McMahon really focused on that. And
that was really frustrated for him because everything else he did in the match was great. But Vince was just super laser focused in on that one bit during the break.
Could the live crowd see it?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I would assume either the live crowd or maybe if it was still Thunderdome. I don't think it was Thunderdome time anymore.
No. It's, I guess you should always be on. I'm not trying to side with Vince McMahon here or anything. You should always be on, and maybe he just wanted to hammer home the little things, right? Like maybe the rest of the match was great, but that bothered him. But he went on to say that basically that they were looking for a reason not to like him, and that this sort of floated around the higher ups as well, and they all just sort of didn't fancy his chances after that.
They also talked on the Twitch stream as well that after that altercation with Vince, after that conversation with Vince McMahon, he went backstage and saw Keith Lee, and Keith Lee's advice was not to sell that he was bothered by it, and that was right. And Keith had his own issues with that management structure in place there. So it's Keith going, look, you just got to smile and nod and wave and play the game, really.
I find it an interesting one because you would assume that if this especially irked Vince McMahon, that wouldn't necessarily carry over to Triple H. And Triple H is essentially the guy who has made the decision now to not renew Dijak's contract. So it's a Triple H decision. Let's not put the blame on anybody else.
Yes, it can't be. No, him being let go in 2024 is not Vince McMahon's fault. He is very much excommunicated from the company on this occasion.
But I said this yesterday, but I find it a little bit surprising because Dijak really did strike me as somebody who would sort of be a Triple H guy.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of the things that Triple H seems to enjoy in wrestlers.
But it's funny how sometimes with some people, regardless of you do all the right things, you tick all the right boxes, you look all the right way, but sometimes to people at the top, you just don't really fit.
Yeah.
It's just, it can just be that. It's like, it's not even an X factor. It's the opposite of an X factor where you just go, yeah, you're all the things are there, just no. Would Dijak go back though? Well, he says he wouldn't entertain a sudden offer from WWE, which isn't out of the realms of possibility. If you remember when Drake Maverick was let go, and when Drake Maverick did that video where he got very emotional and was very grateful for the opportunity, he ends up getting re-signed.
Yep.
So it's not out of the realms of possibility that all this bluster online could lead to that happening. But he said, I guess if they wanted to make an offer right now, they could. At this point, I'm not terribly interested in listening to it, just by the nature of a WWE contract, the fact they can hire you and release you for no reason. They could pull a fast one on me going, you're rehired. Ha, just kidding. You're fired. But he shouldn't be short of options. Now he's gone, though, to be fair. He was approached by Brett Lauderdale on Twitter last night. Brett Lauderdale very publicly saying, do you want to come wrestle in Dallas on Sunday? So he could be, potentially could be back in the ring as soon as Sunday. But there's another thing happening on Sunday in the world of the wrestling, and that is AEW Forbidden Door. And with Tony Khan leading a media call last night for it, it seemed only pertinent that somebody would ask about Dijak.
They did, and he responded, there are some great free agents out there. There are great names you're talking about, because they also asked about the possibility of Becky Lynch. I have a lot of respect for everybody you said, but it probably wouldn't behoove me or benefit AEW for me to give my contract thoughts on all of them, or what I would negotiate, or what I would have with any of them. I do think they're all great talents, insightful stuff. Well, he's not going to comment. I don't know why people ask these questions, because he's not going to say anything about it. He'll say that, and then he'll just go, by the way, I think we've got the best women's division in all of wrestling right now. Move on. That's all he says. It wouldn't surprise me if he came in there for a bit. I think he would fit in Ring of Honor really nicely. Maybe that's a bit of a waste of him, but I can see him slotting into Ring of Honor. Obviously, he's got history there as well.
The one you said yesterday was the most appetite whetting of all, which is TNA.
Well, we're getting crap for this now, because apparently we're always saying they would be a good fit in TNA, but actually I think Dijak especially would be a really good fit in TNA.
We say they'd be a good fit when they'd be a good fit.
All right, don't get personally offended. Peeps. It's all right. Honestly. People are upset at the moment about everything.
Yeah, it's a sad Dijak.
No, I think he would be a really good fit in TNA. Yeah. And to be honest, there aren't that many major US promotions that are going to have the money to pay Dijak. And you talk about some of the indies and stuff, but those aren't necessarily full-time contracts. So I think he would be a good fit in TNA, personally.
Yeah, me too. And The Rock, and The Undertaker, and Steve Austin, and Andre the Giant. Hire them all for TNA, you cowards. One guy in TNA who would be very keen to work with Dijak again is the X-Division champion Mustafa Ali. He shared a picture of the good old days of Retribution on Twitter yesterday. Him, Mace, T-Bar, Slapjack, saying, someone run this 8-man tag without the effing masks. And I couldn't agree more. That's a Joey Janela's spring break waiting to happen, that is. Get them all out there.
I agree. But with the masks,
yeah.
It's an ironic thing, isn't it? To suggest that you do Retribution without all the goofy bollocks, that's not what you want to say. I don't give a toss about seeing Mustafa Ali and Shane Thorne and Dijak. I don't care about them teaming up unless they're taking the piss out of Retribution. So I disagree with you there, Ali. Do it properly.
Hear me out, Retribution, but we take it all really seriously.
Yeah, right?
Oh, no thank you. Speaking of TNA and Mustafa Ali, he's going to be defending the X Division title against Speedball Mike Bailey at Slammiversary. It came after yesterday during a State of the Union address from Mustafa blockbuster for Ali, which saw a fan getting attacked for chanting "We won Speedball." Speedball making the save here, and Ali, adamant that he's not ducking a challenge from Mike Bailey, has given him what he wants, and we're going to get Mike Bailey and Ali for the X Division title at Slammiversary, which I am buzzing for.
That'd be a great match, obviously.
really
Goes
good
without saying.
time.
Also heard from Jordan Grace, says that Ash by Elegance has been trying to get her attention for a while, and she has granted her a Knockouts World title match. But Ash's representative, George Iceman, says that the match between Ash and Grace will take place instead at Slammiversary. The segment ended with Grace beating up Ash's private security.
Thoughts and prayers for that second guy who Jordan Grace lobbed into the ropes, and he just got tangled into the ropes and didn't quite make it out of the ring in time. I hope you're doing okay, my friend. Also for Slammiversary, we know that we're going to get a 6-way for the TNA World title. Moose, the reigning champion, defending against Nick Nemeth, Josh Alexander, Steve Macklin, and 2 more names to be determined. You've got to believe Joe Hendry's one of those names.
You've got to believe he's winning. They'd be really daft not to put the belt on him. Like everybody's talking about the social numbers that he's doing. I know it might seem a little bit obvious, but honestly, you're lucky enough to have one of the hottest guys in all of wrestling contracted to your company. Make the biggest deal out of him possible. It's a no-brainer.
I believe that you don't have him win at Slammiversary.
Right, go on.
You have him win at Bound for Glory. You build it. I wouldn't be upset.
No, he's hot right now.
He'll be all Bound for Glory.
No, I'm not saying that Joe isn't tremendously talented and able to keep the hype going.
He's so good he should join TNA. Oh, wait, he is.
But no, he's really hot right now, and these things are memes. They're short-lived. Joe will continue it because he is so good, right? I'm really not trying to take anything away from Joe, but when everybody, why would you put it on the back burner? I just think strike while the iron's hot, right?
That's a good shout. That is a good shout. An AEW original may be striking back soon. Tony Khan giving an update on Britt Baker during the media call for Forbidden Door last night. I haven't seen Britt Baker in quite some time. What's Tony been saying?
He said, I'm really excited about Britt Baker being close to ready for a return to AEW. She's been out with an injury and not cleared to wrestle. I do expect that sometime soon she could return. And AEW have the best women's division in all of pro... Oh, no, he said, I'm very excited about getting all of our top stars back. This is what he does. He puts it to other people. It's great having MJF back. So many other great former champions, including Jamie Hayter, Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, many other great wrestlers we can't wait to have back here in AEW. For me, I know that Dr. Britt Baker and fans all over the world will be excited to see her return. I'm glad she's going to be cleared to return very, very soon. She's my favorite women's wrestler in all of AEW history. I think she's the absolute bollocks, and I can't wait to see her back as well.
And it should be a fun old night at Forbidden Door as well. Join Ross and myself for live reactions on Sunday. You can check out our predictions and 9 pitches for Forbidden Door on the channel right now. And mere moments after Forbidden Door, you can find out what happened at Forbidden Door with Jack the Chopper. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.